Hello friends and welcome to my clickbait adventure here. I'm just kidding. Sorta. It is kind of clickbaity, I know. But these are things that I feel like I say a lot in a lot of my replay analyses or just general content. So if you watched a lot of my videos, you've probably heard me say this, but I keep having to say it when people send me replays. So people aren't doing these things. So I thought, okay, let's summarize them in the short video here. And we'll finally have a short video for the channel for people that don't like the hour and a half content. And maybe that's why you miss me saying some of these things. That's fair, honestly. So here it is in a shortened version, kind of 4 steps. They honestly go kind of in order for hard support to do, and I think it'll help you out in your games a lot. First, half pulls. I love these, and I think they are going to catch on. They're going to become the meta, but right now, maybe not the full meta, but at least part of it. Right now, they aren't that popular. So hop on this. This is the most, this is my favorite tip, okay? So a full pull is when you have your 4 creeps walking into lane and you aggro all of them into the small camp, leaving nothing to keep going in the lane. A half pull only aggroes, surprise, half the creeps. Usually the back 2. Technically, you could do the front 2 if you think, or probably you just mess up. I think the back 2 are better, but if for some reason you want the front 2 or maybe the front 3, back 1, front 1, whatever, go for it. The point is you don't aggro the full camp, and I think this is a lot better because most of the time a full creep wave will just kill one small camp and then they'll return to lane, and in most pub games that results in the lane pushing, which is generally not favorable for you. A half pull is a lot more reliable and you can get your creeps denied off without pushing your lane. So here in this game, let me show you. This was originally a stacked camp, that's why we have 3 of the same creeps, but this is essentially one small camp. I pause here a little bit and then let the attack connect towards the back of this creep wave, so I aggro just these 2 creeps. And what that's going to do, it's going to give Juggernaut 2 creeps to tank for him here so that he does not have to tank these 5 creeps. And at this level, to be fair, at my level, the carry will know, oh, I don't want to let this creep wave just go. He's going to start auto attacking these creeps and he's going to balance it out himself. At your level, even if the carries don't do that and they just go for last hits, these 2 creeps will die. He'll probably get a last hit or 2 in that time, and then the remaining creeps will chase him under tower. That should still be workable for them to farm. These 2 creeps are going to fight the small camp. This small camp, in fact, let's just watch it. This small camp will kill them, and that gives me a choice. I can stay here and farm this if I want, but I don't have to. I don't have to stand here and attack these creeps to make sure they die, because they're going to die on their own. That means I can come over here and harass this Abaddon a little bit, especially if it's like a very contested lane. Now, I'm not doing a very good job of it, but the point is, over here, these creeps died on their own, which means I was not needed here, which means I had the option to do whatever I thought was better. And in this case, I was trying to harass the Abaddon. I think that probably wasn't the right idea, but this is the example I have for you, so what can you do? Look at that. This died, and hey, Juggernaut is doing fine over here. Now, once these creeps die to the tower, oh, Jug's gonna spin on them. Doesn't really matter. They'll die to your tower in probably most of your games, to be honest. Hey, look at that. The lane is balanced here again. I got 2 creeps denied, which is pretty much the best you can hope for when you do a normal full pull, and I didn't shove the lane. And in fact, look at that. I even still had some creeps left over, so I could come stack them. And now with the stacked camp, I could do another half pull, or I could now pull the entire creep wave, get 4 creeps denied, and farm 2 small camps. So I haven't missed out on anything. I still have 2 camps worth of experience I can potentially get, and I have given myself the opportunity to get multiple of my lane creeps killed off, and I can still be in lane and pressure this Abaddon so he doesn't just have a free time. And you can tell where we're winning this. I don't even know. Clockwork is roaming, but that is the power of half pulls. If you need a more in-depth description, we have an old video on it, and there's going to be a new one in the future, but that's not what this video is about, so let's get on to the next tip. The next thing I want you guys to do is to leave the safe lane at some point, please. So this could come for multiple reasons. Perhaps you have won your safe lane through some half pulls, perhaps, and now your carry is doing really well, and they can be left on their own. The problem I see is many hard supports will just keep staying in that lane, keep doing pulls, and they really don't do much. The other scenario is that you actually lose your safe lane, even though you were trying to incorporate this sick half pull concept. You still lost somehow. That can be okay. Your carry may have reached the point where they can go jungle. And instead of playing the lane still, it's better for them to go to the jungle and you can go somewhere else. So for example, if you're in the Radiant safe lane, you can head over to the off lane. If you're in the Dire safe lane, you head over to your off lane. What this does, let's say your carry still wants to play the lane. If you go to your off lane, you now have 3 heroes up there. The enemies tend to just react to what they see. So they bring 3 heroes up there as well. You have a 3 versus 3 happening up here, and that involves the enemy carry. Do you think they're farming well in that kind of game? Not really. They're having a really hard time because they are, 3 heroes are pressuring them, and so they're kind of like thinking about, can I get killed? Can I get kills? I'm trying to fit in farm. It's very annoying for them. Down here, we have our 1v1, our carry versus their off lane. In many scenarios, that is great. Your carry is free to farm, and if they don't feel safe to farm, they head over to the jungle. This is just a really good thing to do because you start to create pressure, and hopefully your offlane combo, the 3 of you, can start to get this tower, especially if your mid rotates, and this creates a safe spot once this tower is down for your carry to come up here, and now you guys can go everywhere else. So here I have another video example for you guys. A lot of the time, so I'm dead here. Bottom lane has been a little rough for us. We've had a lot of rotations down there from the enemy team. What I see a lot of the times is that the hard support just instantly teleports back to the bottom lane. In this case, we're losing the lane, and I happen to be dead, so I'm going to have to choose my teleport location. I don't want to keep coming bottom. We are losing bottom. It sucks to be bottom. I don't want to be down here anymore. And Sven is a carry who can farm the jungle. In fact, look, that's what he's doing. He's farming the jungle. If you had won the safe lane, then your carry will be here and you can walk away. You walk through the jungle, maybe stack along the way. And if your carry needs you, if they go on your carry, TP home, or not home, but to the bottom lane. And in the meantime, you walk up here and now you can participate in fights up here. So in this game, I TP up here. And look, is PA farming right now? No, she's looking for kills. And yeah, she's going to kill this LC. She gets some gold here. But at this stage of the game, a lot of the time, farming is just straight up better, especially if you spend a lot of time running for this kill. So right now, she's way out of the lane. And in fact, she's even going to die in this case. Even if she had lived, if she had lived, it's probably okay for her. But in this kind of lane where you're trading kills, getting kills and then getting killed tends to not be that great for the enemy carry. So of course, you don't want to come to this lane and feed the carry, but if you can make it somewhat competitive, then it's generally in your favor. And look at that. We're now going to come get this kill. What's happening down here? Previously, we were getting pressured a lot. Now Tiny is up here too because we're all up here. And Sven, he's just rotating. Oh, they're under the tower. I'm safe under the tower in a 1v1. I'll farm this lane. And then once it comes up here and I'm not safe, I'm going to go farm the jungle. He's having a great time. And look, PA is dead. So once your safe lane has reached a point, I can't give you a fine line where this is. This is something you guys have to figure out for yourself. But at some point, you have to ask yourself, can I leave this safe lane? Is it time to go? And I promise you, there is a time, and it is not 25 minutes. It is usually somewhere between 5 to 15 minutes where you should be leaving your safe lane. And you can go mid. I don't really care where you go as long as it's not just in your safe lane. Walk away from that place if possible, so you can TP there if needed, but leave. Go do something else. Create pressure in the mid lane or in the top lane, stacking along the way as you walk. Next step in our 4-step plans to victory. You've rotated top. Hopefully you've taken this tower. What do? It's a little bit up to you. In fact, the next step is to just find a lane. The goal here, the ultimate goal, is to either create pressure or relieve pressure for your team. So you might create pressure by pushing a lane that the enemy has to deal with, or it might be the reverse. The enemy is pushing a lane, no one really wants to go there, but you're a hero that can go there. So you go, you defend that lane, you farm it up a bit, and you are relieving pressure so that none of your cores have to deal with it, and they can continue to farm efficiently in the other lanes and or jungle. Now, especially if you're at the lower ranks, your cores tend to just go to the jungle. So there's usually a lot of empty lanes. And that's the first thing. Empty lanes are where you don't really have heroes on your team there. Maybe you have like one, but usually there are no heroes in here. This happens a lot at lower ranks. If you have a hero that is good at, or not, everyone can farm to a degree, but some people are more prone to want to farm. Someone like Phoenix, a very greedy hero. And then some heroes have good wave clear. Someone like Keeper of the Light, who can defend towers very safely. Treant Protector, he doesn't have the best wave clear, but he's a very safe hero because he can walk through the trees. So he has a great time going into these empty lanes where no one else on the team wants to go, otherwise known as the dead lane, and he defends it. And this creates space, because even if you get killed, think about it. Your death is probably worth about 300 gold, but if you can defend that tower for, let's say, a minute, your carry is probably rocking like 500 GPM, and hopefully pressuring another lane. So, if the enemy team has to dedicate multiple heroes to pressure your safe lane, for example, and Treant is defending it for a minute on his own, this is great for your team because everyone else is being a lot more efficient than the 3 heroes on the enemy team pressuring this lane. Now, you do have to consider if you have a 4 support that wants to farm. So even though these are tips for hard supports, we have to consider our other counterpart supports. Someone like Earthshaker really wants to farm. He's not that great at it. He doesn't have the best wave clear, but he wants to farm up his Blink Dagger as fast as possible. And in this case, even if we're someone like Keeper of the Light or Treant Protector, we may want to give the empty lanes to Earthshaker because his farm priority is more important. And we, instead, will go to the active lane. This is where you usually have a couple heroes on your team, hopefully some heroes on the enemy team, though if there are no enemy heroes there, then you probably just get a free objective, and that's pretty good too. Now, these heroes like to fight and kill. So Treant Protector, he's kind of this hybrid hero where he is great at defending empty lanes, and that's what I prefer doing, but he's honestly pretty good at being active as well. And so if you had someone like Earthshaker, then it's fine. You can go be part of the active lanes. But you may also have heroes who only want to be in active lanes, like Undying or Vengeful Spirit. They suck at farming. They don't have good mechanics for it, but they're pretty good at getting kills, especially in the early game. So they want to go be where other heroes are. They want to provide a lot of damage or stuns and help get kills and help to create pressure there, while maybe your carry or your mid is farming somewhere else in an empty lane. I kind of already mentioned it, at lower ranks, you're more likely to go to empty lanes than active lanes because your cores just love the jungle. So that's fine. Go to an empty lane, get some farm yourself, create pressure for your team. You may not even have the option to go to an active lane because usually an active lane is wherever the offlaner and or mid hero is. That's usually the active lane. Just head over there. That's kind of why in this first step I said rotate to the offlane. That becomes an active lane when we bring the offlaner and both supports there. You know, if the offlaner's in the jungle, you yourself cannot go there and make it an active lane, in which case it's an empty lane. Don't worry about the semantics about it. Just look for a lane and just know that my goal, I want to create or relieve pressure for the team. How can I do it? Probably one of these two. Now, the final step, as you are getting farm from being in one of these kinds of lanes, consider items that enable your carry. What I see a lot is that people buy support items, which is usually that's great, right? You get a 4-staff because they have a clockwork, and that's like, okay, I need a 4-staff. But then you're not sure what to get next. And so they're like, yeah, I guess I'll just get a Glimmer Cape. Glimmer Cape's a support item, right? Yeah, it is, but sometimes there are better items for that. And especially in this patch right now, there are some big carry heroes. People like Sven and Spectre. But I've seen your pub games. You also have like PAs, Drows, Trolls, you know, those kind of heroes. And they like to be strengthened up. So when you don't have, you know, if you need a 4-staff, you need a 4-staff. But after that, if you aren't sure what to buy, please think about some of these, you know, not so typical support items, but they're still support items. So things like Medallion or Solar Crest. Medallion especially, very cheap, just 1,000 gold, very strong for what it offers in the right lineups. Or a Vlad's, that's a really good aura item either for your team or a carry. Lotus Orb, these kind of items that help to protect your carries and or make them stronger, that can really help you win your game, especially when you start to reach that 20 to 30 minute period of the game. Like, this is what the carry is supposed to do. They're supposed to win the game, but we need to help them along the way. And sometimes our items can do that. But I feel like I rarely see hard supports do this at even in Divine or lower. I don't see a lot of like, oh, this is a really good Medallion game, and they pick it up. People just forget about these. So if you're not sure what scenarios are these items might buy, there's you might want to check out the support itemization playlist in this channel. You know, just a thought. Think about it. You know, if you want some scenarios, the Lotus Orb video will be coming out soon. You know. So here I've got an example for you. I am playing Jakiro, and I bought my 4-staff because I'm dealing with Sprout, Cold Feet. I just wanted some mobility. And then for my next item, I get a Medallion, which is not a very common Jakiro item, but I think it's really good this game. I've got a Sven and LC who pretty much only do physical damage. And on the enemy team, there's a PA. She is the position 1. She pretty much only does physical damage. The 5 armor I can give my teammates essentially counters this Desolator, which is 3 times more expensive, which reduces your armor by 6. Now, of course, she still has the damage, but the armor reduction is a huge part of this item. And for a third of the price, I pretty much counter it. And later, when I build this into a Solar Crest, I'm going to more than counter it. And it's going to give my Sven extra attack speed and all that. If you look at his physical damage reduction right now, he's at 50%. And in a little bit, I'm going to use this Medallion on him because it is a free item. There we go. He's taking the charge. I boost him up by about 6%. It doesn't sound like a lot. He has a decent amount of armor. So if you have less armor, it's going to be more. But if you look at his health right now, he's actually at 3,000. So 6% is pretty much 180 extra health against physical damage. And yeah, maybe that doesn't matter, but sometimes it will. Sometimes you'll win a fight with just a little bit. So these kind of things, you know, they make the small differences. So in this fight here, because this is a free item, I'm free to use it aggressively, defensively. And look at that, he's under the tower taking tower shots. Don't worry, I've got you, buddy. I'm protecting you with the Medallion. We're diving. I'm just gonna throw Medallion defensively or aggressively. Gonna hit the NP with it. Gonna use it one more time here on this Tiny so that Sven can delete him and get out. These kind of items are just good. And now, yeah, I can't remember. I think Roshan's up. This game was a while ago. It also opens Roshan, which is pretty good to also boost your carries in like a offhand way. Like you can get Roshan a little sooner, and then they have the Aegis, so they're just stronger. And then you Medallion them, so that, you know, it's even better. I think these kind of items are really good in certain games, but I don't see it a lot. So think about them. They're pretty good. And that's it. Those are the 4 steps. I feel like I say this in a lot of my games where I tell people, I think you should have half pulled here instead of full pulled. Or like, hey, you've won your lane, but why are you still here? Get out of here. Or people are telling me, I'm lost. I don't know what to do. Go to a lane. Go push a tower. Go defend a tower. Like, one of these. Or I look at their items and it's like, did you really need an Aghanims here? Did you really need, you know, a Force, Yule's, Glimmer? Like, yeah, those are support items, but like, they weren't that great. But a Medallion, that was a really good game for it. Or like a Vlad's. So if you follow these steps, I do think it'll help you out. You can win all your games like I do, obviously. And maybe I won't have to say these every single replay. I'm just kidding. I'll say it as long as it's needed. I think this will last even with a patch. These are just good things to do. But maybe after the patch, we'll have to revisit the idea. But thank you for watching. I hope it was helpful, as always. And good luck out there. Go win some games. Do these things. Goodbye.